self-serving, persuasive talkers
of everything and nothing.
We are conversation con artists.
What's going on, people? It's your boy, Mr. On Point.
And I am realizing how important opposable thumbs are. Also known as Calamity Red.
I guess there's a story behind that.
There is.
We are Conversation Con Artists, back for another wonderful, fantastic episode. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. MISTER_on point.
And I can be found at red_calamity. Also, we're still doing the listener letter portion of the show. So if you have a question you would like for us to answer on the show, you can send it to our Gmail account, which is conversationconartists@gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook, Conversation Con Artists, and send it to us that way. We have a couple of letters and Reddit posts. So if you see something on Reddit you want us to respond to, you can send that to us too.
Please. So this is from Tag, faithful listener. Been listening for some time. Appreciate you for writing in, Tag. The title of his email is Chill. It's cucumber lime Gatorade, and it's delicious. It's the best Gatorade.
Tag. I haven't tasted it, so I can't go too hard in the paint about it, but it sounds disgusting. I'm just going to be honest with you.
You have to love cucumbers, or you have to generally like subtle-ass flavors molded together.
Like, I hate when you go, so when I worked my other job, I used to go to these, like, luncheons, and I hate when people had a water where they put cucumber and lemon in it to, like, flavor the water. So, like, that's what leads me to believe that I would not like this shit, because I hate when people flavor water with fucking cucumber. It's a weird ass, I don't like it. So I just can't imagine that a Gatorade version of it would be much better. But again, I can't go too hard in the paint because I ain't tasted it. So
I mean, it tastes like it's supposed to taste, man. It ain't like tasting something and it don't taste nothing like what the fuck it's supposed to be. It tastes like what it's supposed to taste like. You either like cucumber lime or you don't. I mean, it's got a sugar in it. I mean, it's sweetened. It got, electrolytes, whatever Gatorade do to that shit. No. But
I'm good.
All right. We have 2 Reddit posts from Tag.
Oh,
I can't see the. I haven't read the name. I see one of them is from "Am I the Asshole" and the other one is from Relationship Advice. So.
Oh God.
Let's go for the "Am I the Asshole?"
All right.
Am I the asshole for ruining game night by telling the truth?
Oh Jesus.
A few nights ago, I hosted a game night for a small group of friends. We had all been quarantining and following the proper guidelines in my county. It was only going to be 5 of us, including me, but one of my friends texted me last minute that she was going to bring a coworker from work, Matt, fake name, fine with me. We started playing a card game where you answer questions about yourself based on the level 1, 2, and 3. The question could be extremely surface level, example, what's your favorite color, to something deeper, example, what characteristic of yourself do you not like about yourself? Everyone was enjoying themselves and I was happy with the way things were going. Cue a question I drew. What's the hardest thing you've ever had to go through? Some backstory. My sister passed away a few years ago when I was still in high school. I was pulled out of class and flew immediately to her college and watched her die in the ICU. Needless to say, this is probably the hardest thing I've been through. 3 of my friends in the group knew about this, the other 2 and Matt did not. I didn't want to bring the mood down, so I answered that the hardest thing I've been through was transitioning going to a college in a different state where I knew no one. We were all ready to move on, but Matt immediately piped up and said, wow, if that's the hardest thing you've ever been through, you live an extremely privileged life. Everyone got quiet. Now, if he had said it jokingly, I probably would have let it go and moved on. However, the way he said it was in a very condescending and patronizing tone, and I'll admit it rubbed me the wrong way. Instead of letting it go, I said, well, the hardest thing I've ever been through is seeing my sister die in the ICU and having to watch her being lowered into the grave when I was 17. I just didn't want to bring the mood down. If things were quiet before, they were dead silent now. Matt mumbled an apology, but game night ended shortly after. After all my friends left, my friend who bought Matt texted me and told me I was a jerk for making Matt look bad, and I could have just let his statement go. I do feel bad about what I said and being the cause of game night ending so soon, but I also feel like I was just making a justified statement. Am I the asshole?
Fuck Matt. Fuck that nigga. How the fuck are you gonna text me? First of all, you brought this motherfucker to my party without letting me know that you was bringing him. Okay, first of all. And he a nigga that none of the rest of us know. and you bring him in, and not only do you bring him in and the rest of us don't know him, he makes a snide ass motherfucking comment trying to be smart by the mouth, and then you gonna text me and ask me or tell me, oh, you made him look bad. He made his goddamn self look bad, okay? Matt did that shit all by himself because the room was already silent when he said that bullshit, so fuck you and him.
I knew that this letter was finna go where the friend called and apologized for Matt bullshitting at your fucking game night.
Right.
Listen, this is your motherfucking house. You a grown ass man. You can do what the fuck you want to do in your goddamn house with your goddamn game. All right? Fuck them friends. All of them. You can say whatever you want to say. You ain't got to worry about bringing the mood down. You already knew what the game was going to be when you played it. Everybody else knew what the game was going to be when they played it. Why would you have a game that will possibly ask you a hard-ass question that will ask you to, based on level, tell some hardest shit you've gone through, and you supposed to, like, downplay it? No, that's the name of the game.
That's the game.
Or at least be like, look, man, I ain't going to hold nothing back, y'all. So if a question come up to ask me some hard-ass shit, y'all better get sad and back happy because that's how the game go. Otherwise, we need to play fucking Cards Against Humanity or some shit like that. You play Jackbox games on the Xbox or something. But don't bring no shit out like this if motherfuckers don't want to hear the truth about it. And let alone bring some new punk-ass motherfucker named Matt. The most generic name you can find in White Boy. That's like the most generic name you can get in White Boy. And this motherfucker come out here being motherfucking rude at your house. This is
you a
your
guest
house.
in my house. Yes.
Have the audacity to say you live an extremely privileged life. Bruh, you are not the asshole, sir. Okay?
He is the
Matter of
asshole.
fact, you drove a wedge into that motherfucker. You shouldn't even feel bad about that shit. You motherfucking say, bring Matt ass next time because he gonna get this sarcasm and these hands. You know? Second of all, don't you bring another motherfucking person over here, have the audacity. If one of my friends can't understand how one of their friends impacted my mood, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder if the friend that was with Matt knew about that too. You know what I'm saying? And then, and like, I guess I would have been like, well, did you ask Matt? Did you go at Matt about his snide comment towards me? You know, because for him to say what he said, that was a problem, right? Me trying to maintain the integrity of game night and the energy of game night, everybody should have known that.
Yep.
Like, how dumb is a Matt that he can't recognize that, damn, that might not have been the hardest thing he went through, but this may not be the place to talk about the hardest shit you done been through. You know?
Because now he looks like the asshole. It's like you went at him about this thing, and there was something much, much worse. Now what you gonna? No, you just sitting there looking dumb. You just look like the fucking asshole that you are. You should have just let it roll. And the fact that this friend of yours contacted you talking about you made Matt look bad, you and Matt ain't welcome at my goddamn house no more. How about that? You go over to Matt's house and y'all two motherfuckers can sit and do whatever y'all gonna do. All right? Don't come back. Don't bring Matt. Fuck out of here. What is you talking about? You made Matt look bad. Bitch, Matt made himself look bad. And he made you look bad, which is probably part of the reason why you upset, because you the motherfucker that brought him. So you feeling some kind of way because you look bad for bringing this insensitive motherfucker to the party in the first place. Fuck out of here. You crazy. You're crazy. No.
Like, Matt had a lot of problems. I mean, one, Matt was a guest in somebody's house.
Yep.
Second, Matt was meeting everybody for the first time.
Yep.
Like, these two things alone should be enough to know that maybe you shouldn't make a comment like that towards somebody new. Which means Matt ain't a considerate person in general.
No, he's insensitive.
Yeah, he's insensitive to do all of that shit with new people. And in a game where you should have the sense to know that shit might not be comfortable to talk about what really is your serious shit.
Yeah.
You know, and so I feel like Matt deserved to be embarrassed, and I don't feel bad for Matt.
Nope.
And I'm about mad at you for feeling like not knowing that you ain't did shit wrong, to be honest. I feel like you really should know that Matt fucked up and that you shouldn't have no remorse. But that's friend dynamics. Like if that friend that bought Matt is the closest of your friends in that group, I can understand why you might feel like that. But it would be based off of how that friend responded to it, not necessarily what happened. But
Yeah.
you ain't the asshole. Fuck Matt.
No, you're not. And this is the first am I the asshole that I've said that the person is not the asshole. Every other time we've had one from that Reddit, I'm always like, yes, you're a fucking asshole. Are you serious?
I
This
feel
one,
like
no.
Tag.
You're
I
not.
feel like Tag chose the really a nuanced,
Yeah.
like an even one.
Yeah.
Not so even, but like on the other
On the
on the
other
other
side,
side.
yeah.
Yeah. Somebody who is genuinely the decent motherfucker telling the story.
Yeah.
All right. The next one is in relationship advice. My abusive husband got surgery to remove a brain tumor and now he's completely different. I don't know if I should still divorce him.
Ooh.
I, 27-year-old female, have been married to my husband, 29-year-old male, for 4 years. We have a 3-year-old daughter. My husband was abusive to me from the beginning. He's also quite manipulative and convinced me, who already had low self-esteem, that he was my only chance at love and that I could never find someone better.
Damn.
He also regularly physically abused me. Before the marriage, I tried to leave him once, but he stormed my family's house and dragged me back into his car. He's even threatened to kill me if I ever leave him again.
Oh,
I
no.
put up with all of this abuse because I loved him and he was a handsome, rich, trust fund baby, so everything about him looked good on paper. But about 4 months ago, I decided I was tired of the abuse and secretly drew up plans to get divorced. Just about a month after that, my husband got an MRI after a head injury and it showed that he also had a brain tumor. He went into surgery to have it removed. After the surgery, his personality is like night and day. He is more empathetic and compassionate now. He doesn't hit me or yell at me anymore. He's even agreed to marriage counseling, which is something he never would have before. However, my sister still thinks I should get the divorce. She doesn't trust him and is wondering if his new personality is all just an act, or if he'll revert to his old self over time. My sister said you'll be better off living a life away from the guy who beat you up because he didn't like dinner, or the guy who once locked you in the closet for hours after an argument.
God
But he's
damn.
really like a different person and is actually remorseful of his past behavior. The other day he started crying and apologizing when he saw the scar on my shoulder from when he pushed me into a bookshelf.
God
Am I
damn.
crazy for wanting to give our marriage a second chance? I love him even more now than I did before, but a part of me still wonders if this is all an act, if he revert back to his old self over time. Too long didn't read. Formerly abusive husband is completely changed after brain tumor surgery. Should I leave him?
How long has it been since the surgery? Did she say?
It couldn't have been that long. 4 months ago she decided to get divorced.
Okay, so it's not been that long.
Yeah.
I. So the severity of the abuse that has been described, um, that's a lot. You got scars. He done locked you in closets and threatened to murder you, and he's been manipulative. So me personally, in this situation, I wouldn't trust that it isn't a manipulation, because this is a perfect opportunity for somebody that is manipulative to use this brain surgery to get you to change your mind about some shit that you was finna do that he might not have been able to get you to change your mind about otherwise. And a lot of times, like in abusive relationships, is an ebb and a flow, right? There's the peak of abuse, and then it like goes back down the valley, and shit is good, and they're sorry and apologetic, and they're good people, and they're crying, and then you get back at the top of the peak, and you getting your ass whooped again. So I would not go full force back into, oh, we gonna be together and he's fixed now. I would say, I guess, do some marriage counseling if are really wanting to determine if you want to stay or not. But I wouldn't trust it personally. Like, if I was in this, I wouldn't trust that shit. I just wouldn't. Like, especially with it not have been that much time. And like I said, the ebb and flow of abusive relationships, there is those honeymoon periods. There are those periods when the person is apologetic and they're sad and sorry. And was the tumor, was that, did the doctor say that this was part of, you can't get brain tumors that change your personality or impact your personality. Was that even something that was said, or are you assuming that that's what it was because he's, behaving better? Like, did the doctor say the place on his brain where this was is in a place where we know aggression comes from or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I yeah, just no. It's a sticky.
Look, I would not. I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be sensitive to the idea of abuse and not invalidate abuse because a person has changed. But I think there's a difference between a person that says they've changed and a person that had a brain surgery and now they're different. Um, in that way, I think that if you're not the kind of person that can separate what a person did to you, even if they've changed, you should leave. If you can separate what that past person did to you versus what they are now, you should at least have like tentative, indefinite, you like put those divorce plans on hold until you see if it's a really lasting change. Like, I mean, if a motherfucker is willing to pretend to be good for 20 years and year 21, he beat your ass again.
That's different. Yeah.
Yeah, but so I feel like a person who wants to be with that person, who can separate the abuse from the current relationship they have, I think you should at least see if that shit has changed them, and and pursue that relationship pending if they fuck up again or if this shit start going back, then it's a wrap. But your
She
family ain't shit anyway, and let that man drag your ass out the family house. That's bullshit. And so, yeah, we do get to the side where we gotta act like. I mean, let's get back to a debate that we always have. A person, like, how much weight does a person changing, if they truly changed, matter in the eyesight of their past behavior?
This is severe abuse, what she's describing. And
But
so
what
what
about what
I
about
was
like I'm doing this general. What about severe misogyny that changed, even if it wasn't
we
abuse?
I
What
mean
about
we've
severe
gone
racism
this is
that
a conversation that we've had multiple times
that's what
about
I'm
how,
saying. Yeah.
I'm on the side of, I ain't
But see,
once
you
I'm
one of
done,
them
I'm done.
people. You want to, like, if a nigga raise his voice at you a couple of times, it's a wrap for you.
Hell yeah.
So I'm
I ain't gonna
thinking
wait for you
like,
to smack me.
but you're not one of those people who is willing to separate what a
No.
person's done from they change. You know, we are. I mean, that's just what it is. But everybody ain't like that.
True. And that's why I said, if he's willing to go to marriage counseling, they can do that. But I think she needs, if she has not had individual therapy to process through all of those abusive, because again, what she is describing is severe abuse. Like, it sounds bad. She got scars on her body from his abusive behavior. So, like, for me, it's definitely not something that she needs to just be like, oh, he's changed, we're going to be together forever. Like I said, I would treat this the same way that you would treat, like I said, without the brain tumor, this happens in abusive relationships where there are good periods, where that person treats you very well, where that person is very apologetic for their actions. Like, that happens without a brain tumor. So I would say you need to see if this is truly a change or if this is just another episode of, well, we good right now. Because that happens. They apologetic, they cry, they tell you they sorry, they'll never do it again, they love you. That happens without a brain tumor. So I just would not be ready to like throw all of the planning that she had made as far as getting out of that situation out the door. I would say go to the marriage counseling, get you some individual counseling, and then just kind of take it from there. But I would definitely not say, okay, we just gonna erase everything, because no.
So I'm started reading the comments, and everybody in the comments is saying, "Don't give medical advice. Please ask neurosurgeons." But she didn't ask any medical questions. So apparently, she been talking in the comments, and this comment, I'm just gonna read this one because it clearly is, I don't really know on Reddit how to get the gist to post those comments. Anyway, it says info. This person asked, "Was it a frontal lobe tumor? Because if so, that would explain the difference and what would point towards a real change." Edit. A few comments, and I see it was the frontal lobe is responsible for personality and aggression. Changes seen with it, either atrophy or with aging or tumors, usually leads to more aggressive and uninhibited behavior. Now, do changes with a tumor reverse when the tumor is removed? I would assume yes, but I'm not a neurosurgeon, so I knew that too. I mean, you probably knew that too. That
Yeah.
the frontal lobe,
Well,
but
that's
she
why
didn't
I
say
was
that in
saying,
the
like,
yeah.
did the doctor say that where this tumor was could have an impact on him being overly aggressive and and him not having control over his behavior, like him
Okay.
being, you know what I'm saying? So I said, did the doctor tell you this,
So
or are you
tell me
saying
this.
this? Yeah.
Let's assume the doctor did tell her that. Because she didn't ask. She didn't ask nothing about the physical. She just
She
asked,
did.
should she leave him? Like
Yeah.
whether the doctor told him or not, this told her that that's the case or not. The question being asked is, with all the shit he did to me, and me having planned on leaving him, should I still leave him?
Well, the doctor's saying it makes a difference to me, but in my case, I just I would not be able to get past it. I would not be able to look at him. I would not be able to look at my body and see those scars and separate those things out.
But
I wouldn't be able to.
let's not pretend like you would have been in this relationship for more than however long it took for him to be aggressive towards you the first time.
True.
let's
Very
not
true.
let's not pretend like you would have scars. Not without him being dead.
Well,
Like this
I'll
wouldn't
say
even be a question.
young me, like I feel like there was a point in my life where I could have been in a relationship like this. Well, maybe not physical abuse. I feel like I ain't never been about this shit. You can get the fuck out of here. Um, I don't know. I again, it matters whether or not she sound like she can move past it, but is that because she's still, you know how
Well,
victims
she
of
definitely sounds like a
that what I'm
battered
saying.
spouse. Sound
She
like that.
needs to get some individual counseling, because is she accepting of this because she's able to separate the two, or is she accepting of it because she got that battered spouse syndrome where they're forgiving of that person anyway? Like, that's what I'm saying. She needs some individual counseling. They need to do some marriage counseling together and then determine it from that. Because just based off of, well, he seems like he's changed, we should just move forward. I think you should go be a little bit more in depth than that, than just the surface. He seems like he's changed. The doctor said that's probably what it was. um y'all got some things to work out. Those incidents, and like your family, you may be willing to forgive, but obviously your family like, fuck that nigga. So like, even that's something that y'all gonna have to work through. Like, the family and how they're going to feel about it, how they're going to treat him. Like, y'all need to be preparing and figuring out how y'all going to cope with that. Because even if you are ready to accept it and run back into the arms of the one that you love, your family probably is not going to be that accepting, especially not after he
Man, fuck
drugged you out
them.
the house.
Fuck them.
What if
If
it was
one
a bunch of, what if it was a bunch of women? What if it was her mom and her sisters?
if
Like,
one of them would have knocked his brains loose earlier, he would have got the goddamn tumor removed before this shit got to this point. Motherfucker should have hit his ass in the head with something, and he would have had to go to the hospital. And oh shit, we see a tumor in here. Let's get rid of that. He could have did this shit 3 years ago.
I mean, look, I'm not gonna say, because I don't want to.
She said before the marriage. Before the marriage, she tried to leave him, and he dragged them back to the. They could have stopped these 3-year marriage.
Still married him.
We ain't worried about her right now. She clearly fucked up on this battle spouse syndrome shit, okay? But the family could have knocked his brains loose early in the situation and got that checked
But
out.
she might be one of them people who they might have been like, Becky, you know you need to leave him. And she married him anyway. The family might not even came to the wedding. The family might have been like, fuck him. Don't do this. If you do this, we're not gonna be supportive. Like, we don't know that the family was just like, oh, okay. We don't know that.
We don't know, but she made it a point to say he stormed in my family's house, meaning that it was motherfuckers there. She went there by herself, and it would be no point of saying to my family's house if she was just there by herself. Motherfuckers watch this shit happen.
But what if it was like her mom? Well, my mama would whoop somebody's ass, but my mom is like a black mom. This sounds like a white family. I don't know how their dynamics are. I don't know what they do. I know my mama, if somebody came in her house, tried to drag her daughter out of her house, my mama would lose her fucking mind. Without a doubt, she would whoop somebody's ass. And she's stout enough to do it.
My mama would pray. My mama would come outside with her Bible and start praying. And the way I feel like because of how devout my mama has been and how much of her life and money she done devoted to Christ, I feel like God needs to just strike that motherfucker, whoever it is. I feel like God owe my mama at least one lightning strike that she need in her life. Like he need to just like thunder, motherfucking like Thor's hammer just hit your ass. Mjolnir just hit the fuck out you. Like that my God owe my mama one of them. I don't give a fuck. Okay. So if I'm ever getting drugged out my mama house and she come out and pray with the Bible and a lightning strike that motherfucker, I'm going to church for the rest of my life. I got to now.
You got to.
I got to now. So that's what my mom.
I don't know family dynamics. Like I know black family dynamics. So like I said, it could have been a house full of women. My aunts and them would have whooped his ass. Like they would have attempted anyway. Even if they weren't able to get the best of him, they would have fucking tried. I don't know if the white women in white families do that. I don't know. I don't know their family dynamic. I don't know if they're the kind of women that would be like, get his ass. Or if they would be like, oh my God, call 911. Like, I don't know.
Apparently not. But either way, if we whittle this all the way down to the very bare minimums, somebody that you love did some bad things to you based on their personality, and somehow that shit changed, and it's a genuine change. If it's a genuine change, would you stay with that person because of that? For me, I guess it depends on what it would be, because clearly I'm a big dude. I won't be getting abused like that by no woman. Maybe she don't give head, and I haven't been worried about it too much, and then she get brain surgery, and then she becomes a slop top monster.
I fucking hate you. I hate you.
I'm definitely staying.
But like I can't remember. Let me see if I can look it up real quick. There was a
think of a reason why I would be about to leave somebody. An alternate reason that I would be about to leave somebody.
There was a teacher that had a brain tumor that slept with her student, and they blamed the brain tumor. So it was a woman. So that would be a situation, I guess, for you. Let's see.
If you a student that got fucked by a female teacher, that's
no. I'm saying itself. She was married. No, she was married. So if you were her husband and you find out that behavior was based on the fact that she had this brain tumor and she just didn't have control.
That behavior real tough, because we talking about pedophile shit.
Yeah.
Is she on the registry? Like, is this shit impacting our lives?
Okay, so this was oh shit. I didn't remember this. My God. A high school teacher accused of having sex with 6 male students.
Oh shit.
Has a brain condition. And so that would, let's see, I can't remember. Let's see if they still went forward with her case. Let me see what happened with it. Because this was, what year was this?
That must have been the defense they tried to use.
It was 2015.
I don't know. I don't think I can forgive this one, man. She out here praising young meats. I don't think I can do nothing with that.
Nicole Dufault. Let's see. She pled guilty. I mean, because she did the shit. She did do it. It's just, they gave her a 5-year state prison sentence. She must also forfeit her teaching licenses, register as a sex offender, and be the subject to parole supervision for life.
Hell no. Shit's over. Shit's over after I found out about the first young meat.
Even if she had a brain tumor that was causing her to not have control over her impulses.
This different than personality shit.
What you mean? One person was whooping somebody's ass and she having sex with students.
But now, she gotta check out a parole officer every day. This shit is national attention.
I mean, if she
And
had
she's
pressed
a sex
charges on
offender.
her
We can't
husband,
live around kids or school. You know,
if she
Nicki
had pressed
Minaj,
charges,
goddamn baby daddy had to get the judge's approval to goddamn going to their child's birth. Hell no. This shit is impacting me now.
well, but if this wife had pressed charges against her husband and he had a domestic violence, but she just didn't press charges against him. This woman got caught. He didn't get caught whooping her ass.
But she was also the one who chose to stay because of the ass whoopings.
Yeah, but you didn't know about her fucking the students, I guess, until it came
Yeah,
out.
that shit's going on outside of me. Like, imagine me coming home, hey, honey, kiss on the cheek, and she been sucking up some young meats at the school.
Oh, I can't
Come on,
stand
man.
you.
Come on, man. But you know, I'm not.
Her husband did divorce her. Her husband divorced her.
My response is still I'm sure, with a level of man shit in it. Like, in our society, men, we don't want to see our women doing shit they ain't got no business doing with men that we don't want to. And so it's like, okay, if she was just regular cheating, you know, that'd be a problem. But she cheating with fucking students, and this was her livelihood. She done lost her income.
But that just goes again to show you that it's an impulse issue. Like, she didn't have any control over these impulses. Like, she fucked her whole life up behind this shit.
Look, I mean, everybody got their own threshold, man. Like, if I found out that she was she was a goddamn assassin, assassinating fucking family members of other people's family just because people on Reddit was like, I want somebody to die, and the tumor, she came out and said, I've been an assassin the whole time. I didn't know what I was doing. Like, there's threshold. Be like, no, bitch, you gotta go. This shit ain't gonna come back to bite me in the ass. I know how action movies with assassins go. Their families are gonna be in jeopardy at some point, and I don't want that.
And she got 2 sons.
Oh
my God, there was one of the it was like wasn't no question that she did this shit either, because apparently one of the victims, and this is because it was from 5 years ago, so I don't remember the details. One of the students had their cell phone out and recorded her giving him head.
Wow.
You can't even say you wouldn't do it, that you didn't do this.
But see, another perspective is that at least the woman in the Reddit post come out on the other side with something positive. Like, I would come out on the other side with, like, she came out with a husband that was better and apologizing and empathetic, the things she want. I would only come out with the knowledge that my wife like young meats.
No,
the knowledge that she ain't better. Like, what is she doing that helps now? She ain't bringing me nothing now. All I got is relationship trauma. That's all I got. She can't do nothing. She done lost her income. She got to check in with a PO. We can't live no damn well special unless she come off on the other side of this shit and realize that she's a rocket scientist just dormant, and she go and fucking become a Nobel Prize winner. Then what? I can't do nothing with that. At least the woman in this story, it came out and things were better. Like, shit, it helped that he had a tumor. Her tumor, just as a defense to keep her from going to jail any longer, that don't help me none.
But if the tumor actually was causing her to have impulse control issues, and that's why she was having sex with these dudes, and she never had sex with another young kid, she's not attracted to them, none of that shit ever happens again.
No,
once the tumors.
I don't get anything. Love ain't strong enough for everything. Okay. Love ain't strong enough for everything. It's like the different type of knots you can tie with when you tie motherfuckers up. Some knots you can get out of, and some knots you be tied up forever until you die. Like, love is that. That's how love is. Sometimes you get out of the shit, it ain't strong enough to hold, and then some of it holds you forever. Young meats is my threshold. Young meats is my threshold.
My threshold is low. I have a very low threshold for bullshit. So
yeah, clearly.
Again, even if it was the tumor, just the trauma around being in that relationship. And again, I think she need to get some, because what if she got PTSD, and what if she started having, she just needs to get some therapy to make sure everything is copacetic. Cause like, if he do something that reminds her of something he did before and she kill his ass. I watch ID channel.
Look,
It happens.
but that logic don't sound right, because if there was something that he would do to her that she would kill his ass for, she would have done it by now.
Well, but now the fear not that the fear is gone, but because the abuse isn't happening anymore, I feel like she'd be more willing to fuck him up than she would have.
Is that Why Did I Get Married? Not Why Did I Get Married, but I Can Do Bad by Myself. Which one was it where Tyler Perry movie where the dude got shot in the courtroom and then
I
she
could do
started
bad
taking
by
care
myself.
of him? She went and she ran full speed and dumped his ass over into the goddamn bathtub.
And he was paralyzed. Yeah, that was I could do bad by myself.
Yeah, you're right. She might be on that shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like she isn't gonna be as afraid of him anymore because he's not, he ain't that guy. So
you know how this would play out in a movie. His personality would end up being so different than what she used to, and she used to what she probably equate to as a macho man, that she would probably end up leaving him. Like, let him cry 3 more times. She gonna be like, I can't take this grown ass man crying. Damn, I'm finna go. I need a man who don't beat me up and who ain't like women. Like, a lot of women be wanting a man in such a rigid little. Be like, I want a man that is aware of women needs and he don't beat up women and he's emotional, but not too emotional, but assertive, not aggressive. Who pay all the bills, who love everything about me, who don't want head and sex all the time. It's a perfect man for some women out here. You can't, so a dude, and that one thing, dudes being too emotional for some women is that shit too. They say I want my man to be open, and a lot of women be like, I want me to be open and emotional, but like, too much is a problem.
Too much, but I feel like too much emotionalness is bad, no matter like man or woman. Like I feel like if you had a woman who cried very easily, and I feel like I want to say AC Blow dated somebody where there was an issue. Like she was very emotional and cried at like over shit that you would just be like, really? Bitch,
I don't mean too much emotion in general. I mean too much based on the man standard, which ain't a lot. It's just too much for women to deal with men. What do I mean? Women don't know what to do with a man crying. If
I hate to see that shit.
If a dude you dating just start crying on your couch, what would you do?
I don't fucking know.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying. Exactly.
But it's not for me. It's not because it's not manly. Like when I it's because I know, because of the fact that men don't really cry like that. For me, when I see a man cry, I'm like, God damn, it's got to be hurting him bad. Like even when I was doing therapy, and I would have a man in my office, recounting something that happened to him, and he would tear up. That shit would just hit different. Just because I know how much this must be impacting him for him to cry. Because men don't do that because society tells you not to. So if you can't control that shit and them tears start falling, that shit fucks with me. And it's not because I feel like you're not a man. It's just like, oh shit, I don't know what to do.
But I think the fact that it happens so little is still a testament to the limited exposure that women have with it, which would be also a reason why they are uncomfortable with it, which would also be a reason why they would say, I want a man that's emotional, but not that emotional. Like, I think they want a man that's aware of his emotions and that can manage them. Yeah. I think that's what they mean when they say that shit. They don't want a man that's emotional, like, at all. But they end up with the opposite. They end up with a man who ain't aware of his emotions and subdue them shits, and then he get overtly emotional when some bullshit happen.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, and then you don't know what the fuck going on at that point. Red is going to get the dog. Red is going to get the dog.
I did not hit him. Were you saying I was going to hit him?
I said Red is going to get the dog, not hit the dog. I wouldn't say that.
I don't even know what he was barking at. He was looking out the window.
So, I I think that our society has created a situation where women, prefer whatever they prefer, and it ain't an emotional man. So it's like if this was a Tyler Perry movie, she would leave his ass because she can't deal with the shit no more. Him crying and apologizing. Like, you ain't used to cry and apologize. At least you used to beat me. You used to be confident about your emotions.
Jesus.
I don't know, but I don't want to downplay abuse, man. To be honest, get the fuck out of the relationship. Like, there needs to be some redeeming qualities to this situation, in my perspective, if you're gonna stay. And if the redeeming qualities is that he has become a more empathetic and compassionate person now, and is willing to go to marriage counseling, then holy fuck, them are big changes in a person, as far as like emotionally. That if he willing to do that stuff, man, if this is a trap, this motherfucker's a diabolical genius on that shit.
Well, we've seen people go to great lengths. Oh, we've read posts about niggas willing to go to great lengths to fuck with folks. So
Yeah, but not with some causality. Like, they literally just decided to do some shit. This is with causality. Like, the motherfucker had a tumor gone, behavior changed immediately after tumor gone. Like, that's causality. Like, that got something to do with it. It's just up to you whether you decide to stay in that motherfucker or not, man. I don't, it's up to you.
Thank you, Tag, for those.
But
Then we have another letter.
No. Yes.
I was like, what?
I was thinking Reddit post.
I was like, you told me we had another letter.
We got one from somebody named Randy.
Randy?
Yes.
This a man?
No.
Okay.
I mean, her whole name on here, but I ain't gonna put her whole name on here.
Okay, but Randy, all right.
Yeah, she didn't put like a
Moniker.
handle or something.
Yeah.
Well, she put her whole name in this thing anyway, so I'm probably gonna say it when I'm reading the post. No, I won't. Wait, if that name is different than the name she got on the email. I don't know what the real name is. Who cares? I mean, not who cares, but I'm gonna keep her anonymity.
Yeah.
It's long.
Okay. Do you want me to wait till you get to the end, or can I interject?
We can interject because it's long and it's a lot of different topics. Okay. First of all, I should start this off by saying that I'm a white chick from Washington, Georgia, that told my mother in kindergarten that, see, you are an inappropriate middle name because I sounded like a hillbilly. I should also
Washington, Georgia. I didn't even know that was.
Yeah, me either. I should also state that my mother thought that she was woke, but I had some deep-seated racism that I feel like she overcompensated for. I think she meant she had some deep-seated racism that I feel like she overcompensated. She thought she was welcome as fuck, and nothing would make her have more street cred. But if I was a lesbian or dating a black dude, when I was young, we were homeless and lived in some colorful neighborhoods. I've had a very diverse friend group my entire life. It looked like the United Nations. Yeah, that being said, I'm finding out with Trump being in office that I had a lot more racist friends than I expected, and it's fucking gross. On a side note, when I lived in Florida for a year, all of the white people made me very uncomfortable. It was just too many, and they were all the same color of pink like a baby mouse, and it was too many. It seemed intentional.
That sounds like some shit you would say. Her description of the skin tone.
Baby mice look really weird.
They do. Yeah.
All of that is pretty irrelevant, except to point out that I have a few fucks to give and a unique background. I grew up poor, but as a part of white privilege, I was able to marry way above my status, and this is why it's taking so long for me to write in. I don't want to sound like a Becky. I did a whole bunch of fucking bullshit and frequently said, thank God I'm not black. That wasn't at all a disparaging comment, but a comment on the politics of police and social justice. If you were poor, or better yet, pouring in a minority, no one gives a fuck about you. Being a reasonably attractive white shit will get you out of everything. Equal pay, but pick your battles. My question is about two different things that I said that rubs my ex-husband the wrong way. Keep in mind, he's a wasp that looks like an albino hemophiliac.
Jesus Christ.
That shit sounds like he ended horribly.
Her description descriptions. I like her descriptions.
And in one incident, we were at Target in Columbia Heights, Washington, D.C. I told him to go get some berries. I was kind of yelling it down the aisle because it was late and the store is pretty empty. I told him not to get the ghetto berries. But I get the berries, I meant strawberries, because pound for pound, strawberries are taking up way too much real estate in those mixed berry bags. It's more economical pound for pound to get a separate bag of strawberries that are super cheap, and you get fancy berries, the blackberries and raspberries in a separate bag. It's just basic economics. He looks horrified and gave me that look that equates to shut the fuck up. He told me that I wasn't allowed to say the word ghetto. I forgot his exact comment, but it boils down to that's a black word. The fuck is he talking about? There is this ghettos all over the world, and there is a ghetto all over the world in every society. So I asked my black friends. I do have more than one. I read the rules. You can't just have one. Obviously, that's tongue in cheek. The second issue was about me saying that my hair was hella nappy.
Okay, wait.
I don't remember.
Let's address the berries because that could get
Okay.
into a long. So first of all, so ghetto berries are the berries that are mixed. It's a mixed bag of berries as opposed to just getting strawberries.
Okay, so what I'm picking this up as is strawberries to her are ghetto berries because when they're in a big bag full of all the berries, they take up all the space. So you get less of the exotic berries like blackberries and raspberries and blueberries.
Well, what does that make? Why does that make them ghetto?
I don't know, because if you think of black people in ghettos, they was pulled over in the ghettos so that they don't interact with all of the fancy people. So that's my interpretation. Well, I don't know. She don't mean it like that, but
yeah,
strawberries.
That's a weird use of that word.
She is clearly very colorful in how she describes and talks about things. So it's not surprising that she would call strawberries ghetto berries, and for whatever reason she want to call them ghetto berries. Well, I guess ghetto berries just mean that they be tripping.
And I think so. This is the thing about words and saying that, you know, because there are people that say, well, nigger is just an ignorant person. So, I mean, but we know that what that word has been equated to, like what it is most notably known for, not the Webster's dictionary version of that word. So the thing about words is that even when they have a dictionary acceptable definition, and you may be trying to use it in that dictionary version, because the word becomes synonymous with bullshit, when you use it, people gonna be like, girl, what? So I mean, I don't know that I would say it's a black word. But
I don't think it's a black word, but I think that him saying that is a symptom of how he's experienced it in his life. So I feel like that the white people that he's been around may have used the word ghetto in such a disparaging way to brown people that he feels like it's akin to a racist word. And so like it's more a symptom of how he's experienced the word versus you in the United Nations growing up together. You might not have had that experience where you didn't grow up around people that use the term ghetto in a way that disparaged the group. You know, on paper, like Red was saying, ghetto just means a specific group that is pulled into and live in the same community. And I think that's how the term ghetto in the white community became synonymous with those people, because they all lived in one area, and technically the term for that is a ghetto. And because, you know, when you start talking about the property value in those areas, the school quality in those areas, the upkeep of those areas, ghetto becomes synonymous with a bad thing. Yeah. So it sounds like one of two things. Either it's like, it would seem like he has an understanding that this word is problematic, probably because of how it's been used in his past, but also it sounds like he was trying to avoid you looking like it was racist. Like he was trying to stop racism from happening for a word that he thought was racist, but it's not for real.
Well, and he didn't want other people to look at her, like, because she said she was talking pretty loud. So there's going to be a chance that the people around them is going to hear what she said. And for somebody that doesn't know, she grew up around different cultures and a bunch of different brown people. They're going to just see this white woman in the grocery store saying, don't get them ghetto berries. And so I think he knew how it could potentially look on the outside to somebody who don't know her background. When you see people, you just see people, you know. There ain't nothing about her, I'm sure, that says she's any different from any other white person that you see based upon look. Um, so I think maybe he was also like, girl, don't don't have somebody come over here cussing us out because you saying this shit in the middle of the grocery store. Relax.
So, but either way, it sounds like just a symptom of that. I don't think that using the word ghetto is. God damn it!
And
That's
that's
my
him.
phone.
I just want y'all to know. The dog was me, but the phone's him.
Sorry. The second issue was about me saying that my hair was hella nappy. I don't remember who said something, but somebody told me again that my hair wasn't capable of being nappy because I wasn't black. That floored me. I said nappy means very tangled, and you saying that black people's hair is nappy by default is fucking racist. I talked to two different groups that had wildly varying opinions. One group hands down said I shouldn't talk about ghettos and nappy hair, and the other group said that the gutters are ubiquitous and nappy hair is a physical quality of the hair state and not about the intrinsic aspects of the hair itself. What are your thoughts?
Again, this is a situation where the Webster's dictionary version of these words are what are those things. But those words have also become synonymous with something unpleasant in the black community or being disparaging about black folks. So it's like, yes, textbook wise, yes, but or not textbook, definition wise, yes, but that's not. It's like the reputation of the word as opposed to what the word actually means, I guess. Um, is the difference here. I think is what the problem is. The problem is that you're not wrong. Like those are the dictionary versions of those words. That's what those words mean by default. But we can't also act like those words haven't been used in disparaging ways and that they're not known for that. It's not even that they've just been used that way. Everybody knows that they've been used that way. Like everybody knows that, you know, ghettos have been used to uh, not quarantine, but basically, you know, group together black folks and keep them away from shit. Everybody knows that, you know, slaves were called nappy headed and those words were used in negative ways. So like it's not like we don't know that those words have been used those ways. So it's like there's a difference between the textbook version of a word and the reputation of the word, I guess.
Yeah, it's I mean, just going along with Red says, it's the word has connotations that precedes its definition in this situation. I mean,
That's the more smart way to say it. I couldn't get it out.
think of Don Imus. Don Imus called
Oh
a
yeah.
basketball team full of black girls nappy-headed hoes. Now, I really don't know if the word nappy was more critical than hoes in this situation, but nappy is what made them black. Like he could have called a team of white girls hoes, you
Yeah.
know, but for nappy-headed hoes is an issue, and he used the word in a generic way, the definition way. But a lot of people have like you got to understand that black hair has been so deeply criticized by society. Like my first job, well, not my first job, but I was trying to get a job as a security guard. The white guy hiring said that I got to cut my braids off in order to do that. But they also said they don't allow afros. So the only acceptable way that a black person can have a job at that place was to have a short haircut. Even though the Patricks and the Todds all got to have 6, 7 inch long hair because it grew downward, you know. So hair in the black community has been deeply criticized by white people, and it's been something that has limited them. So while the word ain't a problem in itself, I think that it could come off as being condescending to somebody that, you know, when you say my hair nappy. It's probably one of those words that it's best understood if you're using it in the context of people who know who you are.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't know your upbringing and don't know how you grew up and don't know that you're not like you grew up around an environment where everybody said my hair nappy. Then of course you're gonna say my hair nappy when your shit look crazy.
Yeah.
But people who don't know that upbringing that you have is going to make a difference in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, and it's unfortunate that it's that way, but it's the nature of racism in this country. Like, um, it's so deeply embedded that it's just difficult. It's just difficult. I know, like, when I graduated from grad school, I got a curly and my hair is curly. So in the black community, it's what you would be deemed as good hair, but when I graduated, people were asking me, and I was gonna be going on interviews and stuff. People were asking me, "Well, are you gonna straighten your hair?" And I'm like, "Why the fuck would I do that? Why would I? Why would I need to do that? This is what my hair looks like. It's neat, it's clean. Why would I need to straighten it?" But people felt like I was going to be judged harshly based on the fact that my hair wasn't straight. You know, we've had there's been articles about schools that have been cutting off black kids dreads and shit. Like, hair in the black community is a big thing. It is.
Been scrutinized heavily. And it's gonna be really hard to convince everybody in your life that when you use nappy, it's not a white person being condescending
Yeah.
versus somebody who grew up in an environment where a lot of brown people use this language around me, and it doesn't mean anything racist. It just means what it meant to them.
Yeah.
So you got to decide in which environments you will use that. But some people will scrutinize you for it, as
Yeah.
you probably found out with the people that you said it in front of before. Um, I switched schools from one that was 50-50 in elementary school, black and white, later to a school that was primarily Filipino and white with Vietnamese and a couple of black people sprinkled in. Obviously, the black people were superior athletes. I don't think that needs to be argued. Also, my stepbrother was 6'2" or whatever, and our house was the football hangout house. The black people in my school were the most popular ones. Football is strenuous on your free times. Because I did really well in school, I attended to be in classrooms as a freshman for seniors in the football team. I informally tutored one who was also dating my friend. Basically, I gave him homework, and then instead of him doing the homework, I just explained how to solve the problem so that he can actually pass the test and not waste his time on the tediousness of the problem. We got into a habit where he would call me little white girl and I would call him my niggy. But now I'm thinking that was wrong, obviously, except he was one of my best friends and dating my best friend. He started calling me little white girl first, though, and I don't know. It seemed harmless, but hindsight is now rough.
Again, this is one of those situations. I think we've said on the show before, like, if your friends allow you to use nigga or any variation thereof, you have to recognize that that's okay with your friends. That does not go over into all of the rest of the black community. It's that group of people that know you and know your intentions. And if y'all had that back and forth, I mean, that's different. But that does not mean it would be readily acceptable or accepted by other people.
Yeah, and I mean, and when we're young, we don't know a lot of things, you know. So if you had that relation, I don't know if she meant niggy or nig. It's Knigge.
I don't know. Either way.
But either way, if you have that relationship with a person and they're okay with it, that's fine. But you know
Yeah.
what? He might be writing into a podcast right now saying that it was a girl, little white girl, when I was growing up that called me, my nig, and he might now in hindsight realize that it was a problem, because we don't understand them things when we're young. But just know that that relationship does not extend outside of that interaction that you had with your friend at that point. That is the important part of understanding the context behind words that we say to who we say them to. That's the important part of it.
But yeah, I wouldn't say, I mean, I wouldn't say that it was problematic or she did something wrong. That was the relationship you had with that individual person. Now, if you were just going around calling all black folks, that ain't been a problem. But like, he calling you little white girl, you called him that. That was y'all little back and forth. I mean, that was that relationship at that time. Relationships change, people grow, people have different opinions, and yeah, he may not like that shit now, or he may not care. I mean, I don't know if y'all stay in touch or not, but
And it very well may have been harmless. Might
It
not
may
have
have been
been
harmless.
anything.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I wouldn't say that was a problematic thing automatically.
Another thing, why doesn't anyone talk about honorary white status? I explained this to the ones that are coming out as being a little more racist than I expected, who will always talk about they can't be racist because of that one black friend. I told them how they were still racist and our friend in their eyes was honorary white. He wasn't like them. That black friend was one of the nicest people I've ever met, and he was sincerely well loved. He died when we were in school. My boyfriend was his best friend. He even lived at their house, but I didn't ask why. My family was shitty, so I assumed it was along those lines. My mom let him stay in our house too. My mom tried. I don't know. It's really upsetting to think that I contributed to the bullshit, but it didn't feel that way. But how would I know? I think it's odd that some people think I sound racist when I point out the discrepancies. Ignoring them or churching up the situation doesn't change it. Ignoring it seems the worst. I was abused as a kid, and when my stepbrother said that he was sorry that shit came down mostly on me, I lost it. Just someone seeing that I'm holding it together meant so much. I assume that I'm upsetting someone by pointing out reality. I'm not saying I agree with it. Honorary white status is when I talk about how white people keep black at a constant negative, and they pull black people out of black when they meet some kind of criteria. Like
You're
you don't
different.
talk,
You're not
yeah,
the
you don't
same.
talk black, you don't act black. They don't say, "Hey, my predispositions about black have been wrong all along because I met a black people that person that doesn't meet them." They be like, "Nah, this is a fluke. This
Yep.
black person ain't really black. This black person is like us."
It's an
And
anomaly.
so, yeah, and that's that honorary white status. It's like black in a lot of minds of white people, especially racist white people, and some, liberal, well-intentioned, meaning white people, is that black is always bad, and you got to pull black people out of that in order to accept that they are better than that. Instead of changing how you feel about black as a whole. I mean, think of all the words that got black in it. Black male, black sheep, all them words. You can think of a whole list of words like black cat, son, lucky motherfuckers. Like all the shit that is connected with black is bad, And it wouldn't surprise me if
Yeah.
the Merriam-Webster motherfuckers who was in the beginning creating the dictionary was like, how can we make black seem worse? You know what? Let's just all the words that mean bullshit. Let's just put black in it. Black sheep. Let's create superstitions with the black cat. Black male. Like all that shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna continue. Anyway, ramble. I'm not going to reread this because I'll probably not send it. Also, I made this art and I'm kind of surprised that it's so controversial. It makes white people nervous. I asked a few minorities about the skin color of the victim. Should he be white? Racial issues are not my point. They said it would be more of a distraction if the victim was white because they would think, why are the police hitting a white dude? So I made him brown for all the minorities, or that was my goal. What are your thoughts? Did I go too far? I offered to give it to a Kaepernick right after he was cut. I think his situation was the inspiration, but I don't think he ever saw the message, or maybe he didn't like it. At Cheeky Aren't You, Cheeky Aren't Arentu on Instagram. I'd be happy to send y'all prints. Cheers, Randy. Yeah, I'm probably a product of incest at some point. Kidding, but you know the stereotypes. The name she put is Randy Sue Allen. So that's why she said, yeah, I'm probably a product of incest at some point. I
Oh,
said it
okay.
because that was a part of her joke. So the picture, y'all go to her Instagram, but her picture is saying that civil disobedience is still disobedience, and it's showing 4 police officers beating a person. And what she was saying was that you can see a hand of the person. She said it was white at first, but she said it confused people because they would think, why are the police hitting the white dude? And so she made it
The fact
brown
that
for
people
it to
would
make
think
sense.
that.
Yeah,
The
it's
fact
crazy.
that people would even think that.
Well, black people would think that. Black people would be like, why are they hitting a white person?
Okay.
Not white people. But yeah, it don't make sense. They don't do this to white people. Like not to this degree. Like they do now because white people are starting to step up out in the streets and stand in front of black people and stuff. So like police are like, well, if you want to be black, we'll make you black. Black, 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 beating your ass now. Um okay, second part of the letter.
Second part.
I forgot to say that I live and grew up in San Diego, but lived in LA, DC, Beijing, Panama City, Panama, Florida, and came back to San Diego. DC was very polarized. I think the culture shock moving to DC was the same as moving to Beijing. Another missed point that I think needs to be addressed is the complete disconnect with white people in reality. I know you see that, but they honestly think their struggle is equal. Being poor is expensive and a hard hole to dig out of for anyone. Poor Whitey thinks the struggle is minimized because there's a backlash against racism that I think comes from that. Like pointing out the systemic generational trauma as being a part of the disparity between the races equates to telling poor Whitey that he's an even bigger failure because look at what a failure he is and he's white. Growing up with ain't shit parents will fuck you up no matter what your genetic ethnic background. I realize that I can fake the funk and I'll be accepted. That's not an option for a hood black dude. I don't know. Take from this what you will. I can't be the only white person who was in search of a new true crime podcast that stumbled onto this podcast. Thanks again for your time. I blame grammar, spelling errors on my COVID diet of vodka.
First of all, she's hilarious. Secondly, I'm glad that you did send it. I'm glad that you didn't, because the thing is these are conversations I feel like that help and move forward. Like people that honestly want to have a better understanding. So I appreciate that shit. Also, it's fucking awesome that you were looking for a true crime podcast and found us because I be on my ID shit. Okay, so that's amazing. That's amazing.
Randy, if you want to know all of the different ways you can get rid of an ex-husband that may have fucked you up somehow, ask Red. She know all the ways to get away with it.
You won't get arrested.
She know all the ways people that have been caught. She know how to talk to the police.
We will not get arrested. I got you. Just let me know.
We are not condoning murder. We are actually licensed mental health therapists.
Yes, we are.
So we would not condone murder. What we would do is help you recover from the trauma of having murdered somebody in the event that you found somebody that gave you some good input about how to do it.
Oh, Jesus. Just the fact that she asked these kind of questions and she wants a better understanding of how her actions impact others or what she says, how that can impact others. I appreciate that. And I think that being willing to, see that, okay, maybe some shit I was saying that I didn't mean for it to come across in a bad way, I can see how it is, or I can see how it will bother somebody. I just wish there were more people that were willing to do that. But also, I would say you gotta find a balance because you don't want to overthink every single thing that you do either. And you don't want to, kind of like with the friend that you had that you called niggy, whatever. That was a mutual relationship. And like I said, I've been around white people that use nigga the same way that we use it. And I mean, everybody because they knew that person was okay with it. But again, I always make sure I tell folks, listen, just because we ain't saying nothing to you, don't mean that others won't, okay? So don't think this go across the board, because it don't.
Yeah.
You'll get your ass whooped. Don't do that. Depending on where you at, it could be bad.
Not a good thing.
It's not a good thing. That's just for this group. It's within this. But no, that's fucking awesome. I was so excited when I found out we got this letter. And I'm glad that our show is one, because we talk a lot of shit. We talk a whole lot of shit. But it's still one in which you felt comfortable enough to get our opinion on this. So hopefully we don't be going too hard in the paint, I guess.
Yeah, I hope not. Don't any white people, we talk rough, but we do have a reasonable, voice when it comes to being objective on these kind of topics. So don't hesitate to send us some information.
Yeah.
Questions because of what you may need some input on. So I appreciate you, Randy, for sending us that letter. Awesome. You're the first white person that sent us a letter.
I mean Michael. He's not. I guess he's mixed.
Well, he ain't that kind of white.
He ain't that kind of white.
Matter of fact, he's actually Filipino, right?
He's Filipino and white, isn't he?
One drop rule. He ain't white. He is Filipino. If he came to America when he was a kid, he would be definitely Filipino. He would not be white.
Yeah, but he said his dad was racist.
Yeah.
He had some issues with his father being racist. Okay, so thank you, Randy. I think we've established that you probably are the first fully white person. We'll say that. First fully white person to write in. And we appreciate that. That was all the letters, right?
Right.
Okay, if y'all have a question or a Reddit post that you see that you would like for us to read and respond to, and with the Reddit post, what we did with tags is that we didn't look at it prior to the show, so that was our first reaction, and so that's kind of what we'll do with the Reddit post, I think. Um,
Yep.
but if you have a question or a Reddit post, you can send it into our Gmail account, which is conversationconartist@gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook, Conversation Con Artist, and send it to us that way. Oh,
Also, if you send us a letter or a Reddit post, screenshot it as well because they will delete those posts. So that soup tube post,
yeah.
because it was so outlandish and went so viral, it became a situation where the boyfriend found out about the post and it exposed his idea that he only told her.
Oh, nobody's gonna steal it, sir. Nobody gonna do that shit but you. You ain't gotta
but
worry.
but she betrayed his trust to the whole world.
I mean,
Like that means something.
but nobody
So
knew who he was. Like, unless he come out and say, "I'm the nigga with soup tube." Like, nobody knew who he was.
so it went back to it. That post was deleted, and the only way I could read it was through screenshot. So if it's something outlandish that looked like somebody gonna take back, the screenshot it and then send it.
Before you get into viral post,
Okay.
let me explain the thumb. Why I didn't realize opposable thumbs are important. So I decided to make some shrimp and grits, which I'm very new to shrimp and grits because I was one of those people that was like, grits is breakfast. Shrimp don't go with that. And I tried it one day at this restaurant here called Jake's. Oh my God. It's amazing. I'm a fan. I've eaten it at different restaurants. So I decided to make some myself. And so for the sauce, I used Cajun sausage and I had to cut it up. And I was cutting it up, and my dog got on my couch. And he knows that he's not supposed to be on the couch. So I'm yelling at him about being on the couch, and I sliced the top of my thumb, like far enough down to where even putting water on this motherfucker hurts. So I cut it pretty bad. Not bad enough for me to need to go to, because it ain't nothing even to stitch up. Like, I just sliced the top off. It's nothing to stitch up. It was bleeding and everything. But because of that, I can't swipe using my thumb on my phone because I got a band-aid over it. It hurts for me to use this hand to use the thumb. So I've been trying to do stuff with my four fingers, and thumbs are fucking amazing. Thumbs enable us to do a lot that I didn't realize that they did. And so, yeah.
Yeah. Thumbs are very important. Also, big toes are important. You really don't understand how much balance your big toe help bring to your life of walking. I don't think y'all quite understand that, but it is a thing. But yeah, man, like everything that we have, we need. If there is any part of your body that stopped functioning, you messed up. You messed up. Red.
I
So
messed up all around because I got that and I got stung by a wasp. Life is not being kind to me this weekend. What happened? What are you doing?
I muted my mic.
Oh, I was like,
Alright.
but yeah, so that's why I said opposable thumbs are the shit because I can't use one of mine and it makes things very difficult to do.
Yeah. Unfortunate for you.
It is.
Sorry that
This
you
thing
are
is worse.
uncoordinated and.
Well, that's not fair.
Why not?
Because I was yelling at Remy. It wasn't like I was just
Well,
cutting.
okay. So your anger issues created a situation where you cut your finger.
I mean, I'll be willing to accept that better than uncoordinated.
Okay. I mean, that's.
We'll go with that.
I think that's twisted, but whatever.
Damn, this thing hurts. Okay.
She got stung by a wasp, everybody.
I did.
But it's really because I needed a break between the podcast to make a phone call, which that probably wouldn't have happened if that wasn't the case. But it ain't my fault though.
I I didn't say it was.
I'm just clearing that out. You know what I'm saying? Circumstance. Maybe you need to learn something about yourself in this moment.
What? That wasp things fucking hurt?
That washing your hair outside ain't the best idea.
Okay, let me explain why I wash my hair outside. Because now people are gonna be like, the fuck is wrong with red? First of all, it's Alabama, it's hot as fuck. Okay, I don't do this in the summer. I mean in the winter time. But I use a rinse to get my hair the red color that it is. And because it's a rinse, it rinses out every time you wash your hair. And I have stained. I finally got my bathroom clean where I had stained the shower because I was washing my hair in there and this red was floating out. So my fucking shower was pink. So to keep that from happening, I just decided I have a house with an outside and hose and a fucking nozzle thing. So I'm just going to wash my hair outside and that way I won't stain nothing. And that's been working for me up until this goddamn wasp decided it was going to sting me for whatever the fuck reason. I don't even know why it stung me because I didn't even see that hole. I don't even know where it came from, bitch. And if it has a wasp, if it has a nest somewhere, I'm knocking that hole down. It's coming down.
Then you're gonna get 20 wasp stings.
No, I mean I'm gonna knock it down in a way that hopefully I won't get stung.
You need to get your cousin to do it.
Yeah. God damn, this hurts. It hurts so bad. Shit.
Okay, on the viral post.
On the viral post.
This is a Facebook chat exchange. Honey, you need to use my tweezers to find your dick. Oh, sweetheart, I'm a grown man with a beautiful wife and kids, so little dick insults have zero effect on me, but if you'd like to send those tweezers over, I'd gladly pluck a couple of pubes out so you can sprinkle them on your head where your hairline used to be.
God
kindly
damn.
crawl out of my DMs, you fucking White Walker.
Wow.
Yeah, that's mean.
That escalated quickly.
Very quickly. I mean, I don't know what the exchange was before.
God damn.
Or if, like, why you talking to her if you got a beautiful wife? I mean, if she is going to reference your penis. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Her, how often you want that thing sucked? Me, when is God good?
That's so rude.
All the time. Yeah,
Oh, that's rude as fuck.
especially if you've been to a black church.
Yeah.
Let me see. I can't wait to capture my pictures with WAP, W-A-P, or whatever that means, and tell my family members it means with all praise.
Oh, that's from the song.
I know.
Oh, well, you said whatever that means. Is that what the person
I mean,
said?
however you say it, like WAP or WAP, W-A-P.
Yeah,
But imagine how messed up it's going to be to convince the 50 and up church crowd that that means with all praise, and they putting hashtag
WAP.
forever.
Disrespectful.
Is it WAP? WAP?
I don't fucking
Wait.
know. I don't know.
Just W-A-P? Or
I don't know how
WAPI?
to pronounce it.
WAPI?
I don't know.
All right. This guy said, you know what wet ass pussy got Cardi and Meg cheated on and shot? Sheesh.
God damn.
Then the comment says, so you agree nothing can keep men happy. And then the next comment say, on my daughter grave, if motherfuckers breaking into shit tonight, I'm getting some free shit. This woman said, your daughter's grave, question mark. And then he said, yes, my firstborn passed away. Final comment, niggas be so misogynistic and then be wondering why God be taking shit back.
Okay.
Meant the daughter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's tough.
It's very tough.
I ain't got that many more this week.
Okay.
Rule number 3, your kids are your best friends, not these grown ass people.
What?
This is a mom group that somebody is in.
Girl, what? Your kids are not your fucking best friends. They're your kids.
This says, nope, my child is my child. My best friends are grown as fuck. She responded, I find my child more loyal than most adults. Motherhood replaces my need for so many best friends. Last response, and that's cool for you, but there are certain activities and conversations that are necessary in my life that a child should not be privy to. Also, there will inevitably be things that a child will want to talk about and experience with others their ages.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I that's a hard line. It's a hard line perspective of your kid, like kids are kids. You know, some people treat kids like they like accessories and shit, like they ain't people. I don't agree with that. You
No,
know,
but I also don't agree. Like, your kid is not your bestie. So, like, there's shit that you would talk to with an adult your age about some shit that's going on in your life that would not be an appropriate conversation for you to have with your kid just because they're your. That's not.
I think it's like I don't know, man. You gotta find balance with that shit. You gotta know who your kid is and how your kid is and what your kid is. Because outside of that, you can't have no one size fits all way to approach and deal with your kids.
No, but it needs to be some balance. Like,
I mean,
if you
clearly they're gonna.
if you a single mom and you out here dating, you don't need to be talking to your kid about your date last night and how the bullshit this nigga did. Like,
And
I
his
don't
parents
feel.
who've done that, y'all. Like his parents who
Yeah.
ripped so many band-aids off a kid. I mean, that sound preposterous and from the jump. But his parents who be doing that shit,
Mm-hmm.
tripping, tripping.
It's a balance. You have to find the balance between being open and honest with your kids and also having the appropriate boundaries.
Yeah. Um. Next question. Which app did you start your social media life on? Facebook, Kick, Snapchat, Instagram, Telegram, Twitter, MySpace, none of the above.
Oh.
So the people who commented are people who are old enough to supersede this whole list. So let's get these answers. Yahoo chat rooms, MIRC, AOL, College Club, Black Planet,
Oh wow. I remember all of
MSN,
those.
Washington DC chat.
What the fuck is that? I guess you got to be there for
Well, when
that.
you was on MSN, you get to choose the location that you wanted
Oh,
to be chatting in, and you hit people and be like, "Hey, ASL,
oh,
age
yep.
six location,
86 location. Oh
high
my
school
God, we're
club."
old.
We are high school club. That's about it. My Yahoo chat is where I thrived at,
Yeah.
and then Black Planet.
What was the one that had the flower for the emblem? What was it?
Oh
It was like
no,
a yellow flower.
no, I don't know what you mean.
I have to look it up. I don't know.
This is my last one, and this is the most preposterous one ever. It's from the WAP video. Imagine being mad at women for liking a song that puts them in the mood to come put it on you. Like, I don't get it.
Uh, that that song does not put me in the mood.
No, nothing put you in the damn mood.
That's
Why
not true.
something very specific puts you in the mood. It ain't a
Nothing.
song.
It's not. Well, I wouldn't say not a song. Not that
So
goddamn
it's
song.
a song that'll come on that make you look at your dude and be like, "Come on, let's get it." It's a song that would do that.
I don't know.
You got to have a perfect storm of events. The series you was watching had to have a good series ending. You got to be in a good mood. Your meal had to have been good. He got to have on the right fragrance. The dogs got to have not been barking today. Your
It's
bills
not
all
that
got to be paid up.
specific.
And then
It's not that specific.
maybe 2 or 3 things will turn you on.
But the WAP isn't even. Why I don't. What about that song will make you want to go have sex with your dude?
I don't know. I feel like your woman gonna come running in the room, jumping on the living room floor, shaking it in front of you.
Yeah,
That's what it would
that
do.
more than yeah.
And then that'll make you want to put it on her, I guess. I don't know.
I guess I don't.
But there are some women who get empowered by this music. It's some women who be like, okay, I'm finna go show him why he pay the bills.
I guess like
This ain't
that'll be my first story is that song. So that's a good segue into.
all right, let's transition over into it.
Oh, I feel like I've gotten to the age where it's gonna be certain songs that I'm just not gonna rock with because I'm just like, why? And I feel like WAP is one of them songs, like a WAP, whatever. How the fuck you say it? I I didn't even finish watching the video. When I started watching the video and saw what they were doing in the video and saw what the song was about, I was like, oh, okay, this ain't for me. Like, and it ain't even about, I'm all for women taking control of their sexuality or whatever, but like, I don't know. The whole song to me is just talking about the things that they exchange for vagina. Like, that's it. Like, I don't have to cook and clean because I have sex with him. He pay all of the bills because I have sex with him and my sex is good. Like, it didn't resonate with me. I don't really have an issue with the song. I don't really care. It just ain't for me. It's one of them songs that I was immediate like, nope. And I mean, I liked Savage by Meg, so I'm not gonna say I don't like none of her music, but this was just too much for me. And I think that has something to do. It's one of those situations where I feel like I done got old enough to be like, what? Oh my God. Clutch my pearls. Like, I feel like this is just one of them situations. Because I remember being in college, going to parties, and them playing nasty ass songs and me being on the floor like, yeah, girl. Like, with it. And I think I just gotten older where I'm just like, this shit is stupid. But I'm not going to ruin that for like people who are younger that like that's what they want to do. Because I was there. Like, all of Yin Yang Twin songs that played in the in the club. Oh my God, that Whisper song. That Whisper song was nasty as shit. Wait till you see my dick.
Yeah, men get to bring the same sexual energy to a song, and it's fine. It become a club banger. But women bring in the energy to this song, it becomes criticized as, you over sexualizing. What kind of example are you for your daughters?
Higher My Neck, My Back was a big ass song. That was a huge song when it came out. So I mean, it's been women making nasty songs prior to this. I feel like I was just in a different place in my life when those songs came out. Cause this song, I was just like, what? All right. Like, why? For why? That was my reaction. And like I said, I didn't even finish watching the video because I was like, oh, okay, I see what this is. And I don't need to see anymore. But I was one of them people like Kaya songs, Yin Yang Twins, Don't Trust No One, Don't Trust No Niggas came on. I was on the floor. Even if I was like, girl, we need to go, I'm tired. If that song came on, I was back on the floor. So like I said, there was a place in my life where I listened to music like that and it was cool. Where I'm at now, I'm just like, girl, okay. It's just too much. It's too much for me. So I don't really care. It wasn't made for me. That's how most of this music now, when I hear it and I'm like, this is bullshit. It wasn't made for me. That's how I look at it. It wasn't made for me. That song's not for me.
Yeah.
But I did like Savage before Beyonce got on it. I like just Savage. I like that song. And I feel like that song is more empowering to me than this shit. But
I think this empowers a certain group of women. I don't think it's meant to empower every woman. I don't think it empowers everyone. But this video, if you would have kept watching, it has a whole bunch of cameos in it.
Yeah, I heard about
of women just dancing. I mean,
like Kylie, and that was it's like Kylie in it. All right, that really made me not interested.
I mean, yeah, but it's a whole bunch of more people that in their own right that have music careers, and that's just may not be to that level of raunchy that Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B are. But I mean, I'm an advocate for women who want to take hold of their sexuality and even in the extremes. I'm not going to be somebody like I would want my daughter at some point to be comfortable enough in her life to do this if she wanted to. Ideally, I won't want her to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I want her to use I want her to use her brain, or whatever she found that her body, if it was an athlete or whatever. But I want whoever I had in my life to have the confidence to know that she can do what she want to do and she don't need nobody telling her not to do it.
I just hate when taking control of your sexuality becomes synonymous with just being raunchy as fuck. Like, I don't feel
It don't. I
It
mean,
take all of that for
but
you to do that.
but there's women in business suits that got control of their sexuality. This is just a version of a woman having control of their sexuality. This is not synonymous with it. This is just a part of the range of what somebody having control of their sexuality look like. Sometimes having control of your sexuality is becoming a stripper. Sometimes it's having a whole bunch of discreet sub men that you call to your house to have to act out scenes with. Like it's a range. I don't think we can look at it and be like, oh, this is what a woman grabbing her sexuality look like. Oh, that's why we need to subdue the shit. And that's what it seemed like men be doing in these situations. It's like, is this what it looks like? No, but men ain't never been interested in giving up that power. No way. Men want to be able to say, these are your limits. And I think that this video is just a representation of them saying, I don't give a fuck. Like, what do you think? Like, what do you think? I can't never think of this dude's name. What is Cardi B dude name? Quavo? Offset. Like, what do you think he think about it? Do you think that he's okay with it because this is his lady?
I think he's okay with it because I think that Quavo the kind of nigga that would just be okay with this shit anyway. Like, I think the kind of nigga he is, he would be all right with it because Cardi, this ain't her first raunchy shit. Like, Cardi's raunchy, and he knew that going into getting with her. So, like, he obviously is somebody that don't care about that. Because if he was, he wouldn't have never been dating, married her to her in the first place. Cardi just a raunchy ass person. When she was on fucking what was Love and Hip Hop, like, he got with her knowing that she was like this, so he obviously with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because he wouldn't have dated her otherwise. It ain't like it was boom, surprise, I'm raunchy. It was, he knew. He knew.
Yeah.
So I don't think he give a shit. But I think there are a group of men who would care, and those men would never date Cardi for that reason.
And there's a group of men that care so much that they would criticize Cardi and Megan for creating a video like this. When it ain't like they ain't watching the video. Like, I hope those same men don't go to strip clubs. I hope those same men only do missionary. I hope those same men don't value when they want. Like, I just don't understand the argument. And that goes along back to that tweet. Men are mad over a video that make women want to come and put it on them. Like, it's like, man, you want this, but you also don't want this. Like, how do you want this? How do you want women to do this? Just when they in front of you, but not generally? And what if you don't get to have any of it if all of it was going away? They won't want that either. I just don't understand, man. I don't understand. Like, if you don't want your kids watching this shit, then that's a supervision issue. Just block all their YouTube and all their shit so that they can't watch videos they ain't supposed to. TikTok. Trump's trying to ban TikTok and shit.
Yeah,
right?
now they suing him.
The crazy thing is, like, I've been doing some research to kind of try to figure out what the problem with TikTok is. And it's not like it's not a problem, potentially. It is a problem in terms of China. This is a Chinese-owned company, right? And this company, this communist country, China, who monitors everything, all kind of social media, has forced legislation that makes it mandatory for companies that hold applications to send them data. And that means that everybody who has TikTok on their phone, the Chinese government can be sent data about your locations. It can be sent data about who you text. All of the permissions that you allow on a phone can be found out by China. Now, that's different when you're talking about Facebook finding out all your information, because legally it's only so much shit that Facebook can even do with your information. So when Messenger came out and people was like, I ain't installing that on my phone. Look at all these permissions that they asked for. In China, they can actually take your information, and that's a problem because it's a foreign government. The last thing you want is for an app on all of our phones in America to be gathered by a foreign government to do what they want with it. And that's what the issue is with TikTok. So the military is banned TikTok. You can't have TikTok on your phone if you're in the military. And so the issue is that, like, so right now everybody hates Trump so much that anything Trump try to do, motherfuckers look at the negative side of it first. The problem is Trump, even if Trump trying to do something good, he always go too fucking far. And this ain't, and the issue is that people try to make this out to be a racist thing because, you know, him on that Kung Flu shit and just how insensitive he be towards other cultures and Asians. But this in itself ain't a race thing. But when the motherfucker who is passing the legislation is notoriously racist and insensitive towards other cultures, what is other people supposed to think? Like, there has to be a component of him wanting to do this that maybe it don't change how he doing it, but it must make him feel fucking good about it, you know, to do it, knowing that, you know, he don't fuck with Chinese people anyway because of coronavirus and all shit he been talking about. The next part of that is that he was talking about the only way that they won't ban TikTok in 45 days is if an American company becomes the owner of the company. And then he said that if an American company becomes the owner of the company, then that company should give the American government a cut of that money because they the ones that make the deal happen. And so it's just preposterous that if you believe in fucking democracy and you believe in small government, you can't be an advocate for the government telling this company and telling America that you can't use this app, and then trying to con that app to being owned by Americans and then making that private company pay the government for using its political power to make that happen. It makes it seem like corruption. It makes it seem like you used your power to take this a company away from a foreign power in order for you to capitalize off of it as a government. Like, this is the issue with Republicans right now for me. I don't know what the fuck they believe in. They used to believe in small government. They used to believe in cohesive nations and World United Nations. They used to believe in family values. And now I don't know what none of my friends believe, that the few that support Trump, because it goes against who I know they are as a person to be supporting Trump and the shit he's doing based on what their history has been. And it's problematic. And I don't think that we should be really encouraging this shit from a leader in a democracy. You know, if we think it's a problem, we should just not put TikTok on our phone. But it ain't supposed to be the government's job to tell us what we can and can't do. But the fact that so many people are okay with the government telling us what to do because they support Trump to this degree.
But they're not, though, because when the government tells you to put your fucking mask on to save people, y'all out here in the streets showing your ass.
They just want to do what the fuck they want to do, and that's stupid.
Do what they want to do.
But yeah, that's it on that part.
Well, since we're on the Trump train, did you see what he said about John Lewis?
That Axios interview.
Yes.
That Axios interview was really crazy.
The fact that he would say, basically, one, John Lewis wasn't special because a lot of others did what he, a lot of others were out there too, to devalue his contribution. And then also to say, I don't really know him. He didn't come to my inauguration. Like, the president of the United States literally sat up there and said that petty ass shit. He didn't come to my inauguration, so a lot of people didn't come to your fucking inauguration. You remember how sparse that shit was? He was in good company of people that did not come to that shit. Are you like, just the fact that he just do stuff like that and say things? It's just like, it don't matter what good he do. He does so it get lost in all of the bullshit that you can't even pull it out of it. It's so much surrounding. It's like an island in the middle of a pool of acid. Yes, that island is cool if you can get to that shit. On the way there, though, you're going to burn your ass off. Like, Oh Jesus. I get so tired of him. I saw that first. I saw it in a headline, and I was like, I know this nigga did not say this petty ass shit. Like, you mad because he ain't coming on. This man is dead and lived his life fighting for civil rights. And the best thing that you have to say about him is, well, he didn't come to my inauguration. Fuck you and your inauguration. Oh my God, it's just too much. It's too much.
Yeah, he's also signed an executive order, well, multiple executive orders regarding the stimulus since Congress didn't pass one, and I really feel like it's a political stunt. I think that
November's close.
Yeah, I think that is problematic enough that Congress is gonna have to come back to figure this shit out. But one thing that they did was the Republicans put in their coronavirus bill relief. Not the Republicans, but the White House put this in it. The construction of a new FBI building that would be built across the street from Trump Tower, which is exactly where it is now. But they thinking that it has something to do with the real estate of it, like making sure that the real estate cost of Trump Towers would be high. Like, I just don't understand how people don't see that Trump is using this for his own personal gain, whether it's his personality and narcissism or ego, or if it's actually financial gain for himself. It's really disgusting, man. I don't even really use that word to talk about shit, but the fact that people can't understand what he's doing. Like, he's literally saying anything he can to make his base believe that he's doing shit that he can't do. He said we got a new healthcare plan coming out. What the fuck is that? You know? But whatever. Fuck Trump.
Yeah.
Shit. So Joe Biden made a gaffe recently. They call it a gaffe. He keeps saying shit about black folks. You know what he said?
About Hispanic people. Is it Hispanic people and black folks?
Yeah, he said that this Hispanic community is much more diverse.
Yeah.
And he wasn't fucking wrong. Okay? Now, the Trump campaign jumped on that shit like, oh, Joe Biden is racist. He don't know what he be saying. He wasn't wrong. The Latino community is much more diverse in how they vote. There's a shitload more Republican Latino people than it is black people. 29% of the population in Latino community voted for Trump, 8% in the black community. There are a lot of Latinos who are single issue voters regarding immigration because they are legal citizens and they want a wall. Like, they don't want illegal immigrants to be able to become immigrants immediately. It's a lot of people that are Latino that don't want that shit. So he didn't lie. He didn't tell a falsehood, but he probably need to stop talking about race and freestyling about it, because he fucking up. Now, I just wanted to say about Joe Biden that we can go back on the podcast and say that I don't fuck with Joe Biden. I don't want Joe Biden to run. This was before he got into runnings. I was like, I hope Joe Biden sit his fucking ass at home, because we don't need no other old ass white man trying to figure out how to tell us what the fuck to do in this country. But then he showed up, and then the debates happened, and then all of these motherfuckers started dropping out, and then it looked like the front runner was going to be Joe Biden. And I don't care what Democrat it would be. I'm not voting for that person. I'm voting for the Democratic party to have power. There has been a lot of balance missing in our politics since the 1980s. There has not been a lot of balance when it comes to Republicans and Democrats, and Republicans have been trying their best to curve our society into what they want it to be, the image that they believe our society should be. But you know what? To me, that is not respecting democracy. The idea behind democracy is that there will be two opposing forces, and the people who lead are supposed to be making sure that they find middle ground for both of those sides. It's not to change the world to your way of thinking because it's what you want, in spite of a whole other half of the population who wants to be and needs to be included. And Trump ain't trying to accommodate that idea. He's not trying to accommodate democracy, nor are his followers trying to accommodate democracy. Because if they did, they would respect the fact that you can get as much of you as you can by legislation, but you're going to lose a little bit because the other side needs something different. And so it's just been really, really difficult to accept people being okay with Trump and using whatever issues they have with Biden's racism, Biden's crime bill. Look, ain't no white savior coming to save nobody in the goddamn black community through the presidency. Nobody. If Barack Obama couldn't save black folks through it, then nobody can save black folks through it. And who gives a fuck right now? You know, Biden ain't as bad as motherfuckers making him out to seem, but the Republicans, when they put a propaganda campaign on you, when they put that target on your back, they really good at making a regular person seem like they really, really, really ain't shit. And the Democratic Party don't play those kind of tactics, not to that level. You know, even a prominent never Trumper, I think his name is Scott something, but he be on CNN. He's a never Trumper, but he's a conservative. And he said that the problem that Democrats are having this problem is because they are not willing to do what it takes to win. Democrats are all about principle and what's right, but Republicans came to win. If we got to change some of our ways of thinking to win, we're going to do it. And that's what Republicans do. They seek to win. And that mentality is a problem when it comes to Trump because we don't need another 4 years of Trump. I don't think our country can sustain another 4 years with Trump, to be honest. And the reality is Joe Biden is just a motherfucker who is on the other side of the situation that we got to figure out. And this is the thing. I don't think not voting for Joe Biden is the problem. I think that what I think should happen is that everybody who wants something different than Trump should vote for Joe Biden. But, you know, you politically castrate somebody if you don't vote for during the midterms. So what I think should happen is that we should hold our vote during the midterms if he's not doing what the black community need and let him fail at the midterms. That way he can't get shit passed. Let the Republicans win the House and the Senate back. Once they win the House and the Senate back, I mean, it's going to be fuckery on y'all local level, whoever y'all let them Republicans win. But at least Joe Biden will know, and every other politician will know that, damn, if the black community hold their votes, then this is how it looks. Because the reality is, I don't know what a political spectrum is going to look like if Joe Biden wins and is able to have the House and the Senate and the executive branch. Man, that's going to be, I don't know what he would do, but it's a lot of legislation that could be passed. And I think that'll be a good thing. But not because it's Joe Biden, but because it would be a good thing for anybody. There's a lot of shit that Trump got rolling that we need to start unrolling right now if we give a fuck about our society as it is. But that's it for that one.
So I think this is T.I.'s stepdaughter, but it's Tiny's daughter, Zonique.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I'm saying that right. So she pregnant by her little rapper boyfriend. That's fine. I don't really give a fuck. But what I do care about is she did an interview and I guess they asked her about marriage and she was like, well, I feel like that's a much bigger commitment than a child. What? Ma'am. Like, excuse me. My allergies, this fucking wasp. Anyway, I don't know how you could think a marriage is a bigger commitment than a baby. You can leave a marriage at any goddamn time. I mean, you can technically leave your kids, I guess, by giving up custody of them. But, like, marriage to me is not a bigger commitment than raising a human with a whole nother person. Or deciding to take part of this person's DNA to put with your DNA to create something. You don't even know what the fuck the mixture is going to be, what it's going to look like. For me, that's a much bigger commitment than marriage. And maybe it's because marriage ain't that big of a deal to me. But, like, that just doesn't even, that doesn't compute for me.
I don't I think people look at marriage wrong. Like people look at marriage as the once you get married, the beginning to the end is the marriage. I think marriage is the event. Marriage is not the relationship.
Yeah.
You know, like marriage in itself as an event ain't shit at all. But if you have to talk about the difference between raising a child and raising not raising, but managing your relationship, kids is the most important, the most critical. I mean, it's a whole dependent being that has no options in whether they connect with you or not. That you got to take care of legally.
Yep.
The other person can leave you when they get ready, and they don't have to divorce you. They can just fucking disappear if they want to.
Good.
They have that option. They don't. They're not. They're only bound to you by a piece of paper, but not for real. A child is your responsibility.
And choosing a fuck boy for like a husband and choosing a fuck boy for a father to your child is it hit differently. Like you dealing with fuck boy type shit is very different from a child in their developmental stages having a father who doing bullshit or who ain't around at all. Um so like I just that statement did not make any sense to me. Like at all. And I get maybe people giving you a hard time because you're pregnant and you're not married. I don't even know who the fuck even cares about that in the year of our Lord 2020 because it's so many people that's having babies out of wedlock. Wedlock, I mean, it's just such an old term anyway. So like I get people might be pressing her about that. Your response does not need to be that though. Because there is no way on God's green earth that this kid is going to be less of a responsibility than if you were to marry this man. I'm sorry, it's not. You're crazy. That doesn't even make sense. Um, a child, that's forever. That's forever. Your grown children be out here fucking up and you having to deal with that shit. Like, till one of y'all die. It's a whole different thing than a relationship that either party can walk away from at any point and you'll never see that motherfucker again. Like, it won't ever be, like, it's whatever. It's different. So, I don't know. And, like, a lot of people were amening her. And I'm just like, y'all are dumb as fuck. Like, it's a lot of dummies who think this way. Like, y'all are crazy. That's why a lot of these kids be coming through for therapy and be fucked up. Because you think the marriage is more important than raising the goddamn child. Got your priorities fucked up.
Speaking of fucked up priorities,
Oh,
this school in Georgia
oh my God.
had a student take a picture of the hallway during COVID, and it just showed a bunch of kids packed in back to back, a bunch of them with no masks on. And the school's response was to suspend the student that posted the picture. Now, that is policy. You can't take a picture of another minor in a school and post it somewhere without that minor's permission. That is illegal, and it's in every school handbook. But
Well, they
this
tried
was
her with 3 different
retaliation.
policies. They said she broke 3 different rules. Did you see the interview she did?
Hmm.
She admitted that she broke the rule about taking a picture of people without their permission, but she said she did not break them other 2 rules that they said.
Yeah, this was clearly retaliation.
Yep.
This
Because
was
it made them look
retaliation
bad.
to it.
Because Georgia's like was it the Board of Education had a whole like 250 fucking people out with COVID.
Yeah.
And you got key and like the school. Did you see what the school's response was to the picture? Saying it was taken out of context. The kids aren't in the hallway that long. If you've ever been to high school, you know that in between classes, it's like what you get about 5 minutes. But in that 5 minutes, you talk to your friends. You go to your locker and talk to the people whose lockers is around you. Like you do a lot in them 5 minutes, social wise, that would entail you breathing on the motherfucker passing around COVID if somebody got it.
It shows how ill prepared we have been for this. It shows that, I mean, they could have had all the students A through D start to go, and then students. Like yeah, you lose 20 minutes out of class doing that, but in order to protect kids, there could have been so many sit down conversations about what to do, but everybody tried to attack this very intricate problem with a hammer, and now that we trying to figure it out, they don't know what the fuck to do and how the fuck to figure it out. And this is the result of it. And I don't feel bad for none of these motherfuckers.
Oh hell no! I mean, and
Man, in fact, I
fuck
hope you
them
get COVID
for
in.
suspending that girl. Like, really, y'all gonna suspend her?
I hope the people who suspended her get COVID through their ass. I don't even know if it worked like that.
I don't think that it does.
How you know? If somebody with COVID lick your booty, you don't think you're gonna get sick?
I'm not even going to address that. So Nick Cannon is endorsing Kanye West. And I'm just like, my dude. I wanted to read this post. Corey Hardrick. He's married to Tia from Tia and Tamara.
Oh, the black dude who used to be in all the TV shows, but
yes,
only when it was about to get canceled.
Yes.
Yeah.
Him. I just want to read a post that he made. This is, I guess this was towards Kanye, is who he's speaking to. Stop playing with us, dude. Been following this, getting my information in order, and Kanye is being used by Trump and the GOP to peel off votes. This is wildly dangerous. He will automatically take 3% of the votes from Biden just being on ballots. This will be catastrophic for the people come November. Also, the future of America is in jeopardy this election. Literally life or death for us all. I will never tell another man what he can't do, but this is some clown shit, Kanye. Where your soul at, homie? Oh, my bad. You sold it. Fuck you. All you enablers, fuck them too. This is the devil's work.
Damn. Not only was he black in the TV shows, he's black in real life.
He's black in real life.
That shit don't play.
Like, Kanye has gotten on the ballot in some. Now, listen, and the thing about it, for people who like Nick Cannon saying that they're gonna, well, he's got my vote. He is not able to get on enough ballots for him to even win. Okay, he has been able to get on the ballots in some, and even states with a lot of electoral votes. Like, there's no way that Kanye West is going to win the presidency. That's not gonna happen. It's not going to happen. So voting for him is not doing shit, but taking away a vote from Biden. That's all that is, because Kanye ain't gonna win. Like, he can't win because he did it. He waited so long to whatever that process is for him to get on the ballot. Most places he's not even able to get on the ballot. It's a few places he's been able to do that. Very few. Where his name gonna even fucking show up.
You said two names. I don't give no fuck about Kanye West and Nick Cannon. I do not give a fuck about them motherfuckers talking.
Ain't Nick got enough going on with that whole anti-Semite and him losing his show and shit? Like, you got bigger fish to fry, homeboy.
He'll be fine. He on the Masked Singer. Them checks ain't gonna start coming.
Is that a popular show, though?
Hell yeah. I don't like it, but it's popular.
Uh-huh. I watched like an episode and it just, wasn't,
Popular.
Didn't connect with my spirit, so I didn't watch it no more.
Yeah.
So.
That's all I had. I ain't got nothing else.
I don't either.
You got anything on your mind?
My arm hurts.
Well, I'm sure you'll overcome that struggle.
Yeah. It's been a bad weekend. And it's the same arm. It's the thumb is on the same arm as the beast thing.
Damn.
This whole arm is just out of commission right now. It's just over.
Damn. Well, if you ain't got nothing else on your mind,
I don't.
I'll Till we come to the next conversation.
We out.
Holla.